So you use the word imposter, and imposter syndrome is the result of that. And I had it. I had it years ago. There are lots of things you have to do. And I think you have to expect, I mean, this is an industry which makes a lot of money. And when there's a lot of money, it does attract the sharks, and the sharks will try and take bites out of you. Absolutely. Okay. There are, I don't say unscrupulous, but a lot of sharp people in this industry. And if you're not sharp and on your game, then you are going to get bitten. And I think the problem is that we enter this often with confidence from our previous background. So I've had restaurateurs who have run some terrific restaurant businesses very successfully, super confident, and then become a mouse when they become a property developer. I've had people from the forces who have been on the front line. You know, they're pretty strong characters, and then become a mouse when they become a property developer. And that's the old imposter syndrome. But what you've got to look at is you have every right to be there, and you are the CEO. In the name of my company, Property CEO, you are the CEO. You're the chief executive officer. So act like one. If you don't act like a CEO, people take chunks out of you. Now, I know that's easier said than done. And what we have to do is build you as a CEO. And we have to give you tools, and we have to give you backup and gravitas. And this is, again, it's all part of the 8 pillars. This is what makes the system successful. And so if you look like a newbie and you act like a newbie and you act subservient, which is what people do, to the design team, to the contractor, even to the funders, then they will treat you like that. But if you go in with confidence and with gravitas on your side, they won't. Number one thing that we want you to be is the CEO. And a CEO doesn't need to know everything. And I learned many years ago that I don't need to know everything. I know quite a lot. But what I do know is how to ask questions. And if someone says to me, that's the RIBA workflow processes, and I didn't know what it was, I go, sorry, what's the RIBA workflow? Rather than go, oh, yeah, okay, RIBA workflow. Because that's what people do. They become subservient. Someone spills some letters out. They go, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know what that is, but I'll look it up this evening. Just ask. You're the CEO. You know, I learned this. I bought a chemical distribution company in the marine industry many years ago for my son to run. And a great friend of mine said, what do you know about chemicals? I said, no, nothing. What do you know about distribution? Nothing. What do you know about the marine industry? I said, I've got a boat. Does that count? But what I learned was a process called the 5 whys. You can look up the 5 whys. The Japanese used, I think it was Toyota. And the process is, as a CEO or as a manager, you just ask why. And when you drill down, by the time you get to the 5th why, and it's not just why, you go, well, why is that? Why is that an extra cost? Is there not another way around it? Can we do it cheaper? Once you start drilling down, you either are going to get an answer which says, oh, no, there is another way. We can do the alternative. Or you get, no, ultimately, we have to spend that extra. But you asking questions as a CEO, like any good CEO does, gives you a standing much higher than you being subservient.
One wrong move can cost you thousands. Learn from others' mistakes. ypn.plus.